Okay, let's continue with the word of the Most High. We're gonna look at Deuteronomy, the first chapter, and verse starting at verse 29. The Most High had Moses send spies out to spy the land, and said, "Then I said unto you, dread not, neither be afraid of them." You're afraid of them. They were very tall people, tall men. The Most High your power which goeth before you, and the h.o.d.c is an angel of the Most High. He shall fight for you, according to all that he did for you in Egypt before your eyes, and in the wilderness, where thou hast seen how that the Most High thy power bare thee, as a man doth bear his son, in all the way that he went, until he came into this place. Yet in this thing ye did not believe the Most High your power, who went in the way before you, to search you out a place to pitch your tents in fire by night. Now who's in that chariot? h.o.d.c. Not as the h.o.d.c, but as the angel of the Most High, the Spirit of the Most High, to show you by what way ye should go. And in the cloud by day, there it is. Cloud is a chariot, the fire is a chariot. The Most High heard the voice of your words, and was wroth, and sware, saying, surely there shall not one of these men of these evil generations see that good land which I swear to give unto you, your fathers. Say, Caleb, the son of Jephunneh, he shall see it, and to him will I give the land that he hath trodden upon, and to his children, because he has wholly followed the Most High. Also the Most High was angry with me for your sake, saying, thou also shalt not go in thither. He said, thou also shalt not go in thither. So Moses, you ain't going in either. But Joshua the son of Nun, which standeth before thee, he shall go in thither. Encourage him, for he shall cause Israel to inherit it. Is that something? That's something. He told you Moses was a man that he dealt with face to face. He still said, hey, Moses hit that rock, like I said, twice instead of speaking to that rock, said, hey, you can't go. That's why you got to watch yourself. Don't allow nobody to take you or allow you to not go into the kingdom behind their wickedness or behind what they're doing or how they feel. Emotions is very, very key here. Go to Nehemiah, the 9th chapter. Nehemiah 9. And let's look at verse 11. And thou didst divide the sea before them. See, he's telling the story. That's what he said. Tell the story of the Most High to the children. They can tell their children's children. And thou didst divide the sea before them, so that they went through the midst of the sea on the dry land. And their persecutors thou threwest into the deeps as a stone into the mighty waters, drowned them. Moreover, thou leddest them in the day by a cloudy pillar, and in the night by a pillar of fire, to give them light in the way wherein they should go. You see, over and over again. Go to Psalm 78. Psalm the 78th chapter. h.o.d.c in the volume of the book, right here, with the Most High, his Father. Psalm 78. And let's start at verse 10. said they kept not the covenant of the Most High. That's the law, such commandments, and refused to walk in his law. Rebellious Israelites, and forget his works. I mean, the Most High want to be bragged about. He want to be boasted about, and forgot his works and his wonders that he had shown them. Marvelous things did he in the sight of their fathers, in the land of Egypt, in the field of Thaahwam. He divided the sea. We're reading this about this over and over again, and caused them to pass through, and he made the waters to stand up on heap on each side. In the daytime also he led them with a cloud. That's a chariot. The Adamashek of h.o.i is leading us in. Remember, we didn't move until that cloud moved. And all the night with a light of fire. See, he clave the rocks in the wilderness and gave them drink as out of a great depth. I mean, that water flowed out of there. They got a place in Israel where they say where that place was, where that water came out. He brought streams also out of the rock and caused waters to run down like rivers. And they sinned yet more against him by provoking the Most High in the wilderness. That's why he just said ain't nobody going to promised land but Joshua and Caleb. Caleb and Joshua and the little children that we had in the 40 years that we lived with. They tempted the Most High in their heart and their mind by asking meat for their lust. Over and over again. Go to Psalm 99th chapter. Psalm 99. Look at verse 2. It says, the Most High is great in Zion, and he is high above all the people. Let them praise thy great and terrible name, for it is holy. The king's strength also loveth judgment. Thou dost establish in equity. Thou executed judgment and righteousness in Jacob. Exalt ye the most high power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, our power, and worship at his footstool, for he is holy. Moses and Aaron, who we've been reading about, among his priests, and Samuel among them that called upon his name. They called upon the Most High, and he answered them. He spake unto them in the cloudy pillar. Now we know the angel of the Most High is in that cloudy pillar. The angels are the chariots of the Most High. He spake unto them in the cloudy pillar. They kept his testimonies and the ordinances that he gave them. Thou answerest them, O Most High, our power. Thou wast a power that forgaveth them. Though thou tookest vengeance of their inventions, what we did in wickedness. Exalt the Most High, our power, and worship at his holy hill. For the Most High, our power, is holy, the only holy one. We must serve continually. Isaiah 4. This is what we're supposed to teach our children, rather than some old games and some old letting the enemy destroy them. Isaiah the 4th chapter, the 5th verse. And the Most High will create upon every dwelling place of Mount Zion and upon her assemblies a cloud and smoke by day, and the shining of a flaming fire by night, for upon all the glory shall be a defense. That's right. That's to defend us. Those that are doing what's right according to his will. Now let's bring it on home. We're going to continue on this. 1 Corinthians 10, without a shadow of a doubt. 1 Corinthians 10, we're going to read 1 down. Moreover, brethren, I would not that ye should be ignorant, me not knowing how that all our fathers were under the cloud, and all passed through the sea. We're going to read this over and over again. Going through the Red Sea on dry ground. That's what it's talking about. And we're all baptized unto Moses in the cloud and in the sea. and did all eat the same spiritual meat. And they did all drink the same spiritual drink, for they drank of that spiritual rock. That spiritual rock. And it wasn't in flesh, it was a spiritual rock that followed them, and that rock was a Mashiach. Can't gainsay on that, just telling you right there. And that rock was Mashiach. Look at Exodus 17 and 10. Is that what I want? No. 6. Behold, I will stand before thee there upon the rock in Horeb, and thou shalt smite the rock, and there shall come water out of it, that the people may drink. And Moses did so in the sight of the elders of Israel at that time. Numbers 20 and 10. He told them that time. That's why I say you got listening is an our responsibility. He told them to smite the rock that time, right? So let's look at Numbers 20. Go to Numbers 20, 20th chapter. That's why listening is out of responsibility. Say, and the Most High spake unto Moses, saying, take the rod and gather thou the assembly together, thou and Aaron thy brother, and speak ye unto the rock before their eyes. See, there's a difference. First time he told him hit the rock, right? He said, speak ye unto the rock before their eyes, and it shall give forth his water. Here, it's not, you understand. I guess we have to go back to Exodus 3 and 2. Because this is what people are not really getting. Why I say his water? Why I say my water? It was the Most High. He's speaking for the Most High. That's why Exodus 3 and 2. And the angel of the Most High appeared unto him in a flame of fire. That fire is the word. Hip talk for the word. But the angel speaking to Moses. He ain't where the angel go. Tell me where the angel went. If you can. Who is the spirit of the Most High? Who is the same spirit of the Most High that started creating everything? Who represented Mashiach Yahushua in the flesh. Yeah. As it is written. So, Numbers 20th chapter, verse 7 said, and the Most High spake unto Moses, saying, take the rod, and gather thou the assembly together, thou and Aaron thy brother, and speak. This is very key. That's why I say listening is an honor and responsibility. First time he told him, we just read, he said, hit the rock. This time he told him, speak ye, Moses, unto the rock, before their eyes. Speak unto the rock before the children of Israel's eyes. So they can see you speaking to the rock. And it shall give forth his water. That's very important. You see this. It shall bring forth his water. So it's somebody talking for the Most High. Who is it? The angel of the Most High. Who is the spirit of the Most High? Who is the Mashiach Yahushua coming in the flesh when he came in the flesh? And it shall give forth his water. Why don't say my water? Because it's the angel speaking for the Most High. His water. And thou shalt bring forth to them water out of the rock. So thou shalt give the congregation and there be strength. And Moses took the rod from before the Most High as he commanded him. Now you mind you, Mashiach Yahushua is speaking, he's the word of the Most High. Most High have a voice. And the Mashiach Yahushua is the word of the Most High, the spirit of the Most High, the angel of the Most High. And Moses and Aaron gathered the congregation together before the rock. And he said unto them, hear now, ye rebels, who we dealing with? Israel, rebellious people. Hear now, ye rebels, must we? He messed up there. Must the Most High? Or is it Moses and Aaron? He messed up right there. Said, must we fetch you water out of this rock? messed up there. That's where he messed up. And Moses lifted up his hand, and with his rod he smote the rock twice. See? Listen is our responsibility. You got to listen very well. You can't listen, you can't really fulfill instructions. You listen. And Moses lifted up his hand, and with his rod he smote the rock twice. What did the Most High tell him? The angel of the Most High, h.o.d.c. So you can understand, I got to say his name because that's the only way you're going to realize that this is him as an angel of the Most High. Just told you. This is him. Look at it. He said, take the rod and gather thou the assembly together, in verse 8, thou and Aaron thy brother, and speak ye unto the rock before their eyes. What did he do? Verse 11, and Moses lifted up his hand, and with his rod he smote the rock twice. And the water came out abundantly, and the congregation drank, and their beasts also. And the Most High spake unto Moses and Aaron, because ye believe me not, to sanctify me. What did he say? What did Ezra say? I mean, what did Moses say? Must we fetch you water out of this rock? Most I told him. I mean, this is a spiritual lesson for all those that have ears to hear. Better get the Most High the glory. And the Most High spake unto Moses, verse 12, as Aaron, because ye believe me not, to sanctify me in the eyes of the children of Israel, therefore ye shall not bring this congregation into the land which I have given them. See? You think it's not important? You better learn to give the glory to the Most High. See, y'all ain't understanding. Some of you might. Go to Numbers, the 12th chapter. Moses was a mighty man in the eyes of the Most High. I'm not going to go through the whole thing. You can read the whole chapter if you want, but Miriam, Moses' sister, and Aaron was tripping on Moses, not only because he married the Ethiopian woman, but because they said this. In verse 2. Numbers 12 and 2. And they said, hath the Most High indeed spoken only by Moses? Hath he not spoken also by us? That's people thinking that they on the same page as someone else. That's what they thought they were on the same page as Moses. And the Most High heard it. Now the man Moses was very meek above all the men which were upon the face of the earth. Now the Most High told him he ain't going to the promised land. But Joshua and Caleb. And the Most High spake suddenly unto Moses and unto Aaron and unto Miriam, come out, ye three, into the tabernacle of the congregation, and they three came out. And the Most High came down in the pillar of the cloud. Came down the pillar of the cloud. Remember, it was in the cloud, the Most High, but the Mashiach was an angel in there. And stood in the door of the tabernacle, and called Aaron and Miriam. And they both came forth. And he said, hear now my words, if there be a prophet among you, I, the Most High, will make myself known unto him in a vision, and will speak unto him in a dream. My servant Moses is not so, who is faithful in all mine house. With him will I speak mouth to mouth. Hear that? He ain't speaking no dream. That's why it tells us in Job 33:14. Hold that. Job 33:14. The Most High speaketh once, yea twice, yet man perceiveth it not. In a dream, just like he's telling you, in a dream, in a vision of the night, when deep sleep falleth upon men and slumbers upon the bed, then he openeth the ears of men and sealeth their instruction, that he may withdraw man from his purpose, what you want to do, and hide pride from man. See, going back to Numbers, the 12th chapter, he's telling them. Verse 7, my servant Moses is not so. As we just read, Moses don't, he said, who was faithful in all mine house. With him will I speak mouth to mouth, even apparently, and not in dark speeches. and in the similitude of the Most High shall he behold. Wherefore then were ye not afraid to speak against my servant Moses? And the anger of the Most High was kindled against them, and he departed. That's Aaron and Miriam, right there, right? So the Most High departed. That's why you women better listen to this. And the cloud departed from off the tabernacle, and behold, Miriam became leprous, white as snow. And Aaron looked upon Miriam, and behold, she was leprous. She turned white, just like the palm of your hand, like the bottom of your feet. She was dark. Can you imagine that? Bam, she turned white. Leprous. And Aaron said unto Moses, alas, my power, my master, I beseech thee, lay not the sin upon us, wherein we have done foolishly, and wherein we have sinned. Let her not be as one dead. So to be leprous is like one dead, of whom the flesh is half consumed when he cometh out of his mother's womb. Moses cried unto the Most High, saying, heal her now, O Most High, I beseech thee. And the Most High said unto Moses, if her father had but spit in her face, should she not be ashamed 7 days? Let her be set out from the camp 7 days, and after that let her be received in again. So she had to stay white for 7 days. And Miriam was shut out from the camp 7 days. And the people journeyed not till Miriam was brought in again. They ain't going nowhere till she was brought in again. That's something, right? You better recognize. So when we look at this, that's why I was trying to show you that if you could receive it, that was Hamashiach h.o.i. But he was an angel of the Most High. He was an angel of the Most High. Let's look at Exodus 16 and Exodus 16 and 11. It says, and the Most High spake unto Moses, saying, I have heard the murmurings of the children of Israel. Speak unto them, saying, at even ye shall eat flesh, and in the morning ye shall be filled with bread. And ye shall know that I am the Most High your power. And it came to pass that at even the quails came up and covered the camp. And in the morning the dew lay round about the host. See, Most High brought us quails to eat. And when the dew that lay was gone up, behold, upon the face of the wilderness there lay a small round thing, as small as the hoar frost on the ground. And when the children of Israel saw it, they said one to another, it is manna. They wist not what it was. They know what it was. And Moses said unto them, this is the bread which the Most High have given you to eat. And this is the bread that the Most High has given you to eat. You can imagine that's angel food. Coming from the angels. Look at St. John, the 6th chapter. Verse 30. Say, they say, therefore unto him, talking to Hamashiach h.o.i, what sign showest thou then, that we may see and believe thee? See, we tell you in, go to 1 Corinthians. I believe it's the 1st chapter, verse 22. Yeah. 1 Corinthians 1 and 22. So for the Jews require a sign, right? So that's what they asked him. In St. John, the 6th chapter, verse 30. They said therefore unto him, what sign showest thou then, that we may see and believe thee? What doest thou work? what dost thou work? Our fathers did eat manna in the desert, as it is written, he gave them bread from heaven to eat. That's what we just read about. Then the Mashiach said unto them, verily, verily, truly, truly, I say unto you, Moses gave you not that bread from heaven, but my Father giveth you the true bread from heaven. For the bread of the Most High is he which cometh down from heaven and giveth life unto the world. And we know that world is the world of Israel. Then said they unto him, Mashiach, evermore give us this bread. Give us this bread. That's going to give us everlasting life. It's going to bring everlasting life to the world of Israel. And Mashiach said unto him, I am the bread of life. He that cometh to me shall never hunger, and he that believeth on me shall never thirst. But I said unto you, that ye also have seen me, and believe not. You don't have no faith in me. He was right there, did more miracles. Look, at that time, I mean, they right there with him, didn't believe him. Didn't believe him. Didn't believe in him at all. Look at St. John, hold that, St. John 21 and 25. St. John 21, 25. And there are also many other things that Mashiach h.o.i did, the which, if they should be written every one, I suppose that even the world itself could not contain the books that should be written. Going back to St. John, the 6th chapter, verse 35. See, and the Mashiach h.o.i said unto them, I am the bread of life. He that cometh to me shall never hunger, and he that believeth on me shall never thirst. But I said unto you, that ye also have seen me, and believe not. And he did more miracles than all the books of the world could contain them. All that the Father giveth me shall come to me, and him that cometh to me I will in no wise cast out. The Most High give us to a Mashiach h.o.i, so you come to him truthfully. He said he's not going to cast you out. For I came down from heaven not to do mine own will, but the will of him that sent him. Sent Mashiach h.o.i. And this is the Father's will which hath sent me, that of all which he hath given me, I should lose nothing, but should raise it up again at the last day. And this is the will of him that sent me, that everyone which seeth the Son, Mashiach h.o.i, and believeth on him, may have everlasting life. And I will raise him up at the last day. The Jews didn't murmur at him, because he said, I am the bread which came down from heaven. And they said, is not this Jesus, this not a Mashiach h.o.i, the son of Joseph, whose father and mother we know? How is it then that he said, I came down from heaven? Mashiach h.o.i therefore answered and said unto them, murmur not among yourselves. Murmuring again. It's a pattern that we have. No man can come to me. He said, no man can come to a Mashiach h.o.i except the Father which have sent me draw him. And I will raise him up at the last day. It is written in the prophets, and they shall be all taught of the Most High. Every man therefore that hath heard and have learned of the Father cometh unto me. That's why he said in St. John 14 and 6, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh to the Father but by me. He the way to show us how to follow the laws of the Most High, which is the truth, that's going to lead to everlasting life. Not that any man hath seen the Father, save he which is of the Most High. He hath seen the Father. Let me say, no man seen the Most High. He, verily, verily, truly, truly, I say unto you, he that believeth on me hath everlasting life. I am the bread of life. Your fathers did eat manna in the wilderness. We just read about the Most High giving it to us, and are dead. So they dead. This is the bread which cometh down from heaven, that a man may eat thereof and not die. They think they're going to eat his body. I am the living bread which came down from heaven. If any man eat of this bread, he shall live forever. And the bread that I will give is my flesh, which I will give for the life of the world of Israel. Isaiah 45:17. Don't forget about we went there. Israel is that world without end. So he's given his life for the sins of the 12 tribes of Israel. The Jews therefore strove among themselves, saying, how can this man give us his flesh to eat? Talking about eating him. We not cannibals. How you tell us to eat his flesh? You know, my Shai said unto them, verily, verily, truly, truly, I say unto you, except ye eat the flesh of the Son of Man, and drink his blood, ye have no life in you. Whoso eateth my flesh and drinketh my blood have eternal life, and I will raise him up at the last day. For my flesh is meat indeed, and my blood is drink indeed. He that eateth my flesh and drinketh my blood dwelleth within me, and I in him. As the living Father hath sent me, and I live by the Father, so he that eateth me, even he shall live by me. This that bread which came down from heaven, not as your fathers did eat manna, and are dead. He that eateth of this bread shall live forever. These things said he in the synagogue as he taught in Capernaum. Many therefore of his disciples, when they had heard this, said, this is a hard saying. Who can hear it? They ain't want to hear that. When the Mashiach knew in himself that his disciples murmured at it, he said unto them, does this offend you? Are you offended by what I said? What and if ye shall see the Son of Man ascend up where he was before? It is the spirit that quickeneth, the flesh profiteth nothing. The words that I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are life. So the words that I'm speaking to you are spiritual. But if you can't understand spiritual things, that's what he said. You can't understand this in the spirit, because he had to come to die for the sins of the children of Israel, that we can have eternal life. It can be opened up to us again. Would you think we're going to keep on sacrificing animals, turtle doves and so forth? Nah. Go to Hebrews the 10th chapter. For the law, this law, the first verse, of sacrifice, having a shadow of good things to come, and not the very image of the things, can never, with those sacrifices which they offer year by year, continually make the comers thereunto perfect. For then would they not have ceased to be offered, because that the worshippers, once purged, should have had no more conscience of sins. You had the Day of Atonement and so forth. But in those sacrifices, there is a remembrance, again, made of sins every year. That's why we had to have Day of Atonement every year. Where it is not possible that the blood of bulls and of goats should take away sins. So if they build that temple, start sacrificing bulls and goats or whatever they're going to sacrifice, it is not possible that the blood of bulls and of goats should take away sins. Wherefore, when he cometh into the world of Israel, he said, sacrifice and offerings thou wouldest not, but a body hast thou prepared me. Mashiach h.o.i, the ultimate sacrifice. For who? The children of Israel. We the children of Israel. All praise to the Most High. Look at Psalms 105th Psalms 105. See, David was doing what the Most High said. That's why he be bragging about the Most High, giving the stories about the Most High. Psalms 105 and 40. The people asked, and he brought quails, and satisfied them with the bread of heaven. That was that manna. See, he opened the rock, which you read about, and the waters gushed out. They ran in the dry places like a river. And he remembered his holy promise in Abraham his servant. From there we're going to go to Psalm 78 and 25. Psalm 78 and 25. Man did eat angels' food, He sent them meat to the full. See, that manna was like angels' food. Look at Wisdom of Solomon 16 and 20. Wisdom of Solomon 16 and 20. In the Apocrypha it says, instead whereof thou feddest thine own people, the 12 tribes of Israel, with angels' food. See? And did send them from heaven bread prepared without their labor. Hear that? He sent us angels' food, and he gave us bread that was already prepared. That we didn't have to cook it at all. It was prepared for us. Without us having to cook one piece of bread. Let me read that again. Instead whereof thou feddest thine own people with angels' food, and did send them from heaven bread prepared without their labor, able to content every man's delight, whatever you desire, and agreeing to every taste, whatever you want it to taste like, it tasted like that. For thy substance declared thy sweetness unto thy children, and serving to the appetite of the eater, tempered itself to every man's liking. See? No matter what you wanted to taste like, it tasted like that. And we still murmur and complaining until this day. What a power. The ultimate power. The most high power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. We gonna complain? No way. No way, man. That's why the Most High dealt with us treacherously. Go to Numbers, the 20th chapter. Let's go over this again. Moses, Numbers 20, verse 7. And Most High spake unto Moses, saying, take the rod and gather thou the assembly together, thou and Aaron thy brother, and speak ye unto the rock before their eyes. This is the reason why Moses didn't make it to the promised land. That's why a lot of y'all think y'all gonna make it to the kingdom and so forth. You're gonna do this, you're gonna have this, you have this, that, and the third, and you ain't giving the Most High his props. It's all about you. All about you as an Israelite. You better wake up. You better understand and see what works and what don't work. Most High told Moses to speak unto the rock. This is Mashiach Yahushua. Tell him of it. It's not a Mashiach Yahushua. It's the spirit of the Most High, the angel of the Most High, who is a Mashiach Yahushua. As we read in that spiritual rock that followed him, who was a Mashiach Yahushua. We read in 1 Corinthians, the 10th chapter, the 4th verse. That's why verse 8 says, take the rod and gather thou the assembly together, thou and Aaron thy brother, and speak ye unto the rock before their eyes. That there is the children of Israel eyes, and it shall give forth his water. That's why you got to look at it as someone speaking for the Most High, which is that angel of the Most High, which is that same spirit of the Most High that was in Exodus 3rd chapter, the 2nd verse. That same spirit of the Most High that was in Genesis, the 1st verse, the first chapter, the 1st verse, and the 1st chapter, the 2nd verse. The spirit of the Most High, or the angel of the Most High. What Moses do? Verse 11. And Moses lifted up his hand, and with his rod he smote the rock twice. He hit the rock. Bam, bam. Hit the rock twice. And the water came out abundantly, and the congregation drank, and their beasts also. Moses spake unto Moses and Aaron, because ye believe me not, to sanctify me in the eyes of the children of Israel. Therefore ye shall not bring this congregation into the land which I have given them. This is the water of the memory, because the children of Israel strove with the Most High, and he was sanctified in them. So that's real. That's real as real can be. Moses didn't make it. It's the promised land. Look at Deuteronomy, the 1st chapter. Verse 35. Surely there shall not one of these men of this evil generation see that good land, which I swear to give unto your fathers. You better understand. He said this land that we went to here, our next estate gonna be better than this. So that you better understand and take heed. Say Caleb the son of Jephunneh, he shall see it, and to him will I give the land that he hath trodden upon, and to his children, because he hath wholly followed the Most High. Also the Most High was angry with me, talk about Moses, for your sake, saying, thou also shalt not go in thither. But Joshua the son of Nun, which standeth before thee, he shall go in thither. Encourage him, for he shall cause Israel to inherit it. Man, Moses, knowing he can't go to the land, now he have to encourage Joshua, because he's going to take his place and lead the children of Israel, their children, into the promised land. It's cold, but it's real. It's real. And there's examples that we have here to go by, that we don't make the same mistakes. Moreover, your little ones, which ye said should be a prey, and your children, which is in that day had no knowledge between good and evil, they shall go in thither, and unto them will I give it, and they shall possess it. Little children, innocent little children, giving them for a praise. We read in Psalms 106, through the fire. As for you, turn you and take your journey into the wilderness by the way of the Red Sea. Then he answered and said unto me, we have sinned against the Most High. We will go up and fight according to all that the Most High our power commanded us. And when ye had girded on every man his weapons of war, you were ready to go up into the hill. And the Most High said unto me, say to them, go not up, don't go up. Don't go out there to fight. Neither fight. For I am not among you. Hear what he said? Don't go up, because I ain't among you, lest ye be smitten before your enemies. So I spake unto you, and you would not hear, but rebelled against the commandment of the Most High, and went presumptuously up into the hill. He said, don't go up. Most High said, I ain't with you. Go up if you